Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the first episode of the Carnivore Kitchen podcast. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today we're going to be having some steak and discussing health optimization, and if you want to learn how to pan-sear a steak, you can check out the recipe link in the description. The name of this episode is The Last 4 Doctors You'll Ever Need, and before we get into what each of those 4 doctors are, we're going to have to go back in time. The year is 2010. It's March, I'm 23 years old, and my health is the worst that it's ever been. My stomach feels like someone stuck a knife in it and twisted it, I can't leave the couch, and I can't stop throwing up. In just a few short days, I'll end up losing over 10 pounds and weigh less than 140 pounds, which I haven't weighed since high school. I look like a skeleton, and over the next 6 months, I'll spend 3 separate stints in the hospital, all lasting between 5 and 10 days. For someone who always thought he was taking good care of his health, how is this happening to me? As it turns out, a lot of what I thought I had known at the time was flat out wrong, and it led me to being diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. I was always taught that health and fitness is 80% diet and 20% training, but there were and are 2 critical components that have been and continue to be overlooked by the vast majority of health and fitness professionals. What are those 2 critical components, you ask? Well, sleep and stress management. Back in 2010, not a whole lot of people were discussing the health implications of poor sleep habits and poor stress management. Luckily, I had a few good mentors I discovered at the time of my diagnosis, and after listening to what they had to say and implementing their teachings into my life, I would regain my health and completely change the way I look at health and fitness, coach my clients, and treat my patients. One of those mentors was Paul Chek, a world-renowned holistic health practitioner from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, that now resided in California. Upon discovering Paul Chek, I stumbled upon an ebook he had written. That book was called The Last 4 Doctors You'll Ever Need, and in it, he discusses Dr. Diet, Dr. Quiet, Dr. Movement, and Dr. Happiness. From there, I would go on to buy his book, How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy, and within 6 months, I was able to use my newfound knowledge to get in remission from ulcerative colitis and help hundreds of people over the next dozen years achieve optimal health as well. Over the next 4 weeks, I will be dedicating one unique podcast to each of the 4 doctors and explaining why each is of paramount importance for anyone looking to achieve optimal health and performance. Until then, here is a brief overview of what each of the 4 doctors entail. Dr. Diet has to do with, well, your diet. Different foods have different effects on different people, and the diet that works wonders for one individual can wreak havoc on another. That is why diets need to be tailored to the individual and why there's no such thing as the best diet. Dr. Quiet has to do with rest and recovery. If you're not getting enough sleep, then that will have a negative effect on your hormones, which will negatively impact your health. As with diet, sleep requirements also vary from individual to individual. Genetically, there are some people who have specific gene mutations that allow them to function optimally on very little sleep. However, for the majority of us, we need a solid 7 to 9 hours to function optimally, and if we don't get it, and it persists long enough, poor health will likely follow. Next, we have Dr. Movement. Dr. Movement not only has to do with exercise, but the way in which we and everything in our bodies move. Our static and dynamic posture, our blood flow, energy flow, our bowel movements, etc. If any single system is moving poorly, it indicates that something is wrong and that something needs to be corrected. As with the previous 2 doctors, Dr. Movement is also highly individualized, and exercises and workouts should be based on each individual's unique posture, morphology, muscular makeup, training age, and goals. And last but certainly not least is Dr. Happiness. Dr. Happiness is about stress management and creating a vision or legacy for your life. Something to give your life meaning and purpose. It's your North Star, something to guide you in times of uncertainty and keep you on track. Without it, it's difficult to remain on course and easy to slip into old and bad habits. And there you have it, that is my quick breakdown of the 4 doctors, and if you're able to optimize those 4 doctors, they will be the last 4 doctors you'll ever need. And on next week's episode of the Carnivore Kitchen podcast, we're going to be discussing Dr. Diet in more detail, so tune in next week.
Thanks for hanging around until the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like the video and comment down in the comment section, as it would really help out with the algorithm. And also share this video so we can help get this information out to as many people as possible. And also subscribe to the channel by clicking on the icon in the bottom right hand corner and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the videos. For those of you interested in health optimization, you can check out the video in the top right corner where I discuss the 6 foundation principles. And for those of you interested in optimizing your performance, then consider becoming a member. It's only $5 per month, and you get a ton of perks, including exclusive access to this program design lecture series playlist above my head.